Hey guys, welcome to episode 20 of the Reseller Stew. Today we are going to be talking about when is it time to hire some help, or would you ever get any help, or things like that. So we were going to have April join us, but she's having some IT issues, so she's not going to make it in today. Boo, because I really wanted to. She's had an employee, like an actual employee before, so I really wanted to get her side of things. But my employee, Patrick, will be back in Austin tomorrow, and he will be back in the office the second week of May, and I'm super excited. So
yay!
It's exciting.
Yeah, so how's y'all's week going?
Great.
It's been going really good. I had a really busy weekend in sales this past weekend, so that was fabulous.
It's always a plus. Yeah, mine were kind of down, and then they picked up over the weekend, so that was good. But then my eBay fees came out, so they took all my money.
Oh,
Yeah.
we know what happens.
I think they just gave me sales so that I could pay them.
Yep. You had the red door, right?
I had the in desperation of money door, so I don't know what color that one is.
Great.
Anybody go shopping You've been shopping?
Yeah, I went shopping.
Really? You did? I wouldn't even thought you would.
I was scrambling what I was going to show y'all, so I just picked up this mug to show you. Isn't it crazy? It's like got this nude lady and she's riding a horse and there's a guy flying a balloon.
Otagiri or something?
No, somebody told me it was called Taylor and NG. It's called Childhood Dreams.
I've never found one of those brand.
Yeah, and only paid 49 cents for it.
Yeah,
Cool.
those were like on a Bolo list a long time ago for coffee cup brands, and I've never found that brand.
Really, I might keep it. I haven't decided yet.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't have any more room for coffee mugs.
They're the same company that does the Animal Orgy ones.
Yeah, I was about to say, I've
seen
actually
those.
found one of those before, the animal orgy one, the bear one.
Did you sell it?
Sell it.
Yeah, I did sell it, but this was a long time ago, though, so I don't remember what it was. I will never forget finding that mug, because I didn't know anything about the mug. It was when I first started, and I was like, this is a cool-looking mug, and I picked it up, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, my eyes bug out of my head while I'm in Goodwill. Oh, my gosh. I had to buy it.
It's like those salt and pepper shakers that you find and you don't notice until you put them together that they're like mating.
Yeah.
I couldn't have that stuff in the house. I'd have to sell it or put it away until the kids got older.
Yeah, mine was among all of the other things in my china cabinet, so it kind of just blended in and nobody could really see what was in there.
And you can't really, it's not super obvious when you first glance at it. It's not like it just sticks out at you.
Yeah.
Do you have any good finds this week, Robin? Did you go shopping?
I did go shopping. I actually went Saturday, and I decided instead of going to the Goodwill outlet, I was going to go to the Goodwill that I used to go to almost every single day. And I ended up buying 7 or 8 pairs of shoes, and I had my 25% off discount, so that was fabulous. I actually listed all of those yesterday.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah, on top of a bunch of other stuff that I found over the weekend. I went yard selling, and I kind of wanted a different day. I was tired of going to the Goodwill outlet all the time. It's the same crap, it feels like. Even though you leave with different stuff, it's just, kind of gets very repetitive and very just bleh. So.
Nate, you said that you started recently going to the outlet, and I talked to Nicole, I guess it was last week, and she said she doesn't really go to the outlet anymore at all.
Really?
That she's gotten spoiled by just going through the racks, and she doesn't want to bother with the outlet anymore. And I think that's like a reverse.
Yeah. It gets to you after a little while. So it was nice. And Allie my 10-year-old wanted to go and she actually wanted to go thrifting and stuff. And so I was like, shoot, okay, mommy daughter day.
Well, I went this weekend trying to find like Prince shirts.
Oh, yeah.
I went on Saturday, but I only made it to like 2 stores, and I didn't even make it to the store I was trying to go to. I didn't find anything, but I did find other stuff. I didn't end like it's still in my car. I have like other things that I bought, but I didn't find any Prince things.
Yeah. I'm starting to realize that I'll like bring stuff home, and how my listing process is, I bring it home, I sit down in front of the computer and I create all of the listings, and then I go back and take pictures with my phone from all of the drafts that I made. And
yeah, that's a good idea.
It's been working for me. It really has. But there comes a point to where if I don't crank those pictures out pretty soon, that the new shiny stuff that I have to list kind of loses its luster, and I just don't feel like taking the pictures anymore.
See, I do it in reverse. I do it in reverse. I take all my pictures like first, and then I'll take like a series of maybe 5 or 10 items, like pictures, and then I'll start listing them. I don't really make drafts, but I know a lot of people make drafts. Do you make drafts, Tonya?
Yeah, I'll do that because a lot of times when I get home, I'll be excited, so I'll do some research real quick, and then if I find one like mine, I'll make a draft on it.
I had started doing that for a really short period of time, and I was like, oh, this is awesome, and then I stopped for whatever reason. I don't know why. So, I went shopping. I have stuff in my car, and I know I have good stuff in there, but I don't even remember what it was at all.
Did you do a video yet on it or not?
Nope, because it's still in the car.
I do videos in my car all the time.
It's been in the car. I know I got that pair of Chacos, but they're like a size 14, so they don't sell as well as the other ones. I think are going for like $40, but they're in really good condition. But I mean, obviously size 14 is not like, if they were like a size 11 or 12, that would be great. But they
I
weren't.
got a 9 in women's this weekend. My husband was trying to talk me into keeping them.
In Chacos?
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. He wants me to keep them, but I don't like them. I like to sell them, but I don't want to put them on my feet.
I love them. I think they're super comfortable. I have a pair I wear all the time.
Yeah, my husband was like, well, do you plan on going to the beach? And I was like, no, actually, I don't plan on going to the beach. He was like, well, how about canoeing? And I was like, yeah, I'll probably go maybe like once or twice a year, if that. And he's like, that'd be great for that. I was like, yeah, I'd rather the $50 than keep them for like wearing them once or twice a year.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. What else did I get? I'm trying to think. Oh, I bought some big Hug Fun chickens. They're like huge. They're, I don't know, they're like 2 feet tall.
Are they stuffed animals?
Yeah, they're Hug Fun. You know Hug Fun, like the giant bears?
No, I've never heard of it.
Oh, okay, hang on. Let me bring it up. This is an educational moment. Hug Fun bears, they sell them at like Costco. And they're massive. They're like 5 feet tall.
What are you gonna do with it? Are you gonna ship it? Are you gonna sell it on eBay?
Yeah, the chickens. Yeah, but here's the Hug Funs. Hang on, I'll share with you. And I actually have 2 Hug Fun bears that I've had for a long time that I just haven't listed yet. But here's the bears. They go for like $80 plus shipping. Around Christmas. Cute. Yeah, and they're big. You can see 53 inches. Yeah. I have one of these cream-colored ones, and I have a chocolate-covered one, and I just haven't listed them yet.
Oh, wait, go back up. What's that red and green one?
This
I
one?
might have one of those.
Yeah, but that one only went for $8.
Oh, okay.
You're like, dang it. But you can see, like, you can charge shipping on them, and, like, this one is really big.
Wow.
93 inches. That's a huge bear.
Those plush cost a
It
lot
was
of money to ship.
$203 in shipping.
Yeah.
Whoa. So what did you found chickens?
I found chickens, so they kind of range. Mine are the really big ones. They're not little. See, these are, mine's big like this, like the 2-foot ones.
Oh, okay.
And they make noise too. But I found 2 of them, so I figure I can at least get, like, I don't know if I should put them together or not. Like, I have one like this, a brown one. And then I have a more traditional looking chicken, I think like this one. But maybe I can, yeah, maybe I can put them together and then, you know, put them for like $69.95, something like that.
Yeah.
I got the chickens, and I actually bought some T-shirts that were supposed to be like sweat-proof shirts, and they looked like they were brand new. And apparently they sell for $39.95 on eBay, brand new, and there's only one listing. And so I figured I could lot them up and sell them together for like $49.95 for the 3 of them.
Yeah.
Since they're, I mean, they looked new, but I don't know if they're new or not, so they're used, you know. I got those, and what else did I get?
What'd you pay for the chickens?
$2.99
each.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
And I almost bought, or maybe I did. No, I didn't, because my daughter saw it had a hole in it. I almost bought another giant Jamaican banana, like Rastafarian banana, but it was bigger than the one I already have. But I didn't. It was only $1.99. Oh, I did buy a Cuisinart machine that for some reason, like, it's a food processor, and it looks like an older model one, but the completeds on it were like over $100.
Yeah.
So
that's good.
Yeah.
Hey, I have a bone to pick with you.
Which one?
Deb.
E? Yes?
Yes. Where is Malcolm?
Oh! Sorry. Hang on. And my husband tried to steal his hat, by the way.
Oh, goodness.
He was like, I really like that hat. And I'm like, that's Malcolm's hat. And he's like, who's Malcolm? And I'm like, the giraffe.
Hello.
Duh. Hang on, I gotta take my headphones off. Okay. Come on, Malcolm.
Hey. Look and fly.
Yes. Tonya sent Malcolm accessories, so he got this lovely pearl necklace and his sophisticated glasses. People in the $1,500 room said he looked like Spike Lee. Like,
you know what he does? Oh my goodness, yes.
Without the pearls, and so they put a picture, and I said, well, I'm pretty sure Spike Lee had the necklace. You just can't see it because the picture didn't go down. Yes. Malcolm has been accessorized. He is ready for action. Brian, I believe, was asking me if Patrick knows about Malcolm and Malcolm knows about Patrick. And and I was like, no, I don't think they do, but I guess they'll meet. So
Patrick's going to try and steal Malcolm's pearls probably, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I forgot all about moving him. He's like looking at me strangely. I gotta move him this way. There you go. Hang on.
I just pulled up a pair of shoes that I found and listed over the weekend, and one of my favorite things is to find stuff new. And I didn't know about this brand until this weekend, and so I wanted to share the brand with you guys. Never heard of it before. It's ATTILIO
Hang on. ATTILIO.
space GIUSTI
EIUSTI.
space LEOMBRUNI.
Goodness, that's a long
Yes, I
name.
know. It is a
Okay,
very
I
long
see
name.
it. Yeah.
So I found a pair of those over the weekend. I paid like $4 for it since I had my 25% off.
What kind were yours? Were they
They were
heels or
ballet flats.
flats? Okay. And what did you list yours for?
I think I listed mine for $40 or $50.
All
Can't
right, let
remember.
me go ahead and share real quick. So here's what we got on that brand. And these are the solds. You can see. Wow, are those used? Nope, new without a box.
I don't think I've ever heard of that brand.
They're nearly
It would
$300
be,
retail, I think.
yeah, it would be easy to recognize because it's just a big A, G, and L.
Yeah.
Like, so they really range, huh?
Yeah, they do really range. But I know it's something that I look at whenever I try and decide on whether I'm going to pick it up or not is how many are currently listed and how many have actually sold, and if there's more sold than currently listed, and it's within, okay, I'm going to learn about this, and I buy it and list it and see what happens. I think I already have one watcher, and I just listed them yesterday. So we'll see. I just thought it was interesting.
What do you have them listed for?
Yeah.
I think $40 or $50. I can't remember.
See, these are used. Used, they sold for $99.99.
Dang.
So that is my brand for the day. I tend to always, I have a new brand. I have a new brand.
This is weird. I've never seen this before.
That is really weird.
They just like wrote on a piece of paper the condition note.
Huh, that is weird.
Yeah.
Maybe they have somebody working for them. They decided they were just going to take a picture of whatever.
Maybe.
Did they write in a description too, or they just put a picture?
It says
That's
these
what
are
they-
size 8. The heels measure this. Removable insoles, no. They must have an employee because this looks like something that somebody typed out. Like from a template. They only do shoes though, so maybe they do that with all of their shoes.
Yeah.
Let's find out.
That's interesting.
Nope, that one doesn't have one. Interesting. Yeah, that's a great find, and that would be easy to spot, that AGL, just like really big like that. I'm trying to see. I forgot to look up my sales until Robin reminded me, and then I clicked off of my screen. And then it went away. Oh, I finally sold something I've had listed for 4 years.
Wow. That's a long time, Deb.
I know.
What was our discussion about last time?
I don't give up on things. If I already put the work in, then I already put the work in. So it's there.
Yeah.
Like if I put the work in to take pictures of it and list it, it's staying forever.
What was it?
It was plates. I'll show them to you in a second. The only time that I would purge anything that I already had listed would have been if update that's coming where we get more listings, because I'm running out.
Yeah.
So then I would have gone through and been like, okay, this stuff's got to go, But like if I was at a point that I would have to upgrade stores or start paying insertion fees, then I would have purged. But now I'm getting 500 more listings, then I really don't need to purge anything at all.
Yeah.
I sold these plates. They're little bunko plates, and I'd actually sold their partner, which was like they were square, a long time ago, and then these just sat around forever. And I knew for one reason why they sat around for a while is because at one point in time there was some kind of eBay error that made my shipping costs super high on all my 2-pound items because it changed my dimension from a 13 to an 18, because I normally default my dimensions as 13 10 by 10 because that's kind of the normal dimension, right? That's a standard size. And for some reason, it changed 40 some odd listings that I had to 18 12 by 12. Or 18 10 by 10. So it made all of my 2-pound listings $28 for shipping.
Dang.
Yeah, and so for a long time, I didn't notice that had happened, and that this was one of them. And every time I would change it, it would get changed back. I would go in and change it, and then I'd go and look, and it would change it back. And then I had somebody tell me, hey, you have really high shipping on this thing. And I'm like, I know. I keep changing it, and it keeps changing it back, and I don't know why.
Weird.
Yeah, so finally it did update, and so they sold over the weekend, finally.
Yeah, they're really cute.
They look, let me show you again, because these were taken on a house that we lived in over 4 years ago. Like, this is it's poster board. Look, you see the seam?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on poster board that was taken on top of my microwave stand and my old house that we lived in. We lived in this house. It'll be 4 years in May. 4 years in June. And I bought those at a Salvation Army that no longer even exists. I paid $2.99 for them, I remember. But yeah, they finally sold. I was like, you know what? I'm going to go out there and they're going to be broken. This was I'm going to go to ship them and then I'm going to drop them. But yeah, I don't think I had any really big sales though over the last week. Oh, you remember when you and Margaret came and I bought those ugly rubber boots?
Yes.
Those sold today.
Really? For how much?
$35 plus shipping.
Sweet.
And they were not even in good condition.
I sold a VHS tape this morning. Where is it at? Here it is. Cindy Crawford. I bought it for 49 cents and it sold for about, I think, $14.99 on Amazon.
Cool.
Yeah, so.
Oh, I did finally sell this puzzle. I paid $2.99 for this puzzle. It's hot sauces.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's all the different hot sauces. So I sold it full asking price.
What is it? I can't make it out. What'd you get for it?
$29.95.
Nice.
$30 for a hot sauce puzzle.
Hey, did it go to somebody in Texas? Texas,
No,
like
it didn't. It went to Illinois.
Okay.
Yep. Went to Illinois. What were your good sales? Either one of you. Yeah.
Oh, well, I'd only planned on talking about this. I don't know, what else did I sell? Let me look.
I'm trying to find out how much I actually sold those shoes that were my big sale. I sold a pair of shoes for $65 plus shipping. This past week. They're Colleen Cordero shoes.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, I don't think I have either.
I hadn't either, but they They had leather soles. They look like they had never been worn. I bought them at my
Oh,
favorite Goodwill that I used to go to all the time.
those are interesting looking. I would have picked those up too.
Yeah.
Those were like my kind of shoe that I would have paid attention to in the store.
Yeah. They were different looking, and so I picked them up and was like, oh, these are nice. Let me just look them up and see.
Look at these. These are, you definitely
You're probably keeping track of the miles you drive.
These stick out for sure.
Taxes. If you're using pen and paper.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. Look at these. Wow. They definitely stick out, that's for sure.
Robin, Jenny wants you to spell it.
It's
C-A-L-E-E, no, sorry, C-A-L-L-E-E-N, Cordero, C-O-R-D-E-R-O.
Yeah, they definitely stick out.
Colleen Cordero.
I'll have to pay attention to that. But I would have noticed those before, because I that's the kind of shoes I try to pay attention to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have anything super, because I've just been running sales. Like, I've been running 40 and 50 and 40 and 60, and now I'm running another, I think, 40% off sale, because I'm just trying to really liquidate some stuff. I need money right now. I need to get things moving. I've got some big expenses coming up that I'm like, I don't want to put them on credit, you know. I'd rather just pay for them, but
Right.
things aren't looking too hot. But hopefully, with Patrick getting back, then I can like totally get things really rocking and rolling, because it was a lot easier when he was here.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think of if I had anything new I learned this week, and I'm not sure if I did or not. I don't think I did. My brain was shut off to learning. But, so I guess we can get into our topic. Like I said, I really wanted April to be here because she had an employee that did her actual listing for her. Patrick doesn't do listing for me. I had him doing other things because I didn't trust anyone actually doing that part of my business. He did not do listing, and he didn't do shipping. But what he did do helped a lot. So I knew Patrick from high school. He was friends with a high school friend of mine, and then we reconnected on Facebook like 20 years later. And I just like spontaneously, I told him that I needed a helper, you know, for eBay, because I knew he was having trouble finding work. And it actually was one of like the best things I ever did. Like, he's super organized. He doesn't need a lot of supervision. If I don't give him instructions, you know, he'll find something to do. You know, he's not one of those people that, and that's something that if you ever try to find a helper, find somebody that makes themselves busy. You know, because if I didn't give him something to do and I went in to like get some water or whatever, I would come back and he would be like organizing a shelf. You know, like he wouldn't just be sitting there or like on his phone or whatever, you know. That was one thing too, like he didn't have a phone, he didn't you know, it wasn't like he was doing social media or anything. Like he just worked. That's all he did the whole time that he was here. And I thought that was really important, because that's something that my husband has trouble with his employees, is that they need constant instruction. You know, he can't just tell them, okay, this is what we're doing. If he's not there, then they'll just sit there. You know.
Oh wow. Yeah.
And but that happens with a lot of companies and you know, businesses, that if the person's just not self-motivated, or you know, you can tell that like if you worked at a restaurant, you can tell, oh, that needs to be picked up, or maybe you need to go refill your salt and pepper shakers or whatever. You know, like you don't need your supervisor to tell you. But I know you guys were talking about that you were to have an issue having somebody in your house.
Somebody that I didn't know, yeah.
But then you would also probably have an issue hiring a friend too, because that's like your friend.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to like have this whole boss-employee kind of relationship simply because I actually think that most people are like the people that your husband has employed. That most people are not very self-motivated. They are, if they're going to work for somebody, that person needs to tell them you need to do this and you need to do this and you need to do this and have like a time frame of it should be done at this time. And I am not a very nice person. If I've got to tell you what to do all day long and when it needs to be done and everything else, you are not going to like me because it will not come across nice.
It was really hard for me to... I'm not a teacher. I have never been a teacher type. Yeah. I expect people to have a general understanding of things. So it's really hard for me to teach somebody and be patient.
Right.
Something new to them. Like, I almost killed my kid trying to teach her how to use chopsticks. You know what I mean? I was like, just use the fork!
Yep.
So, I'm not a patient person. I can't work tech support. I can't, that's just not, you know, I cannot teach you from the ground up.
Yeah.
You know.
I've always been a self-teacher, though. Like, I just teach myself. It's like, if you want to do it, then just figure it out.
Yeah. And that's why I have a hard time with people that aren't resourceful, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what do you mean you didn't, like, Google it? You know, like...
Right? You can find out how to do anything on YouTube. Anything.
Yeah. Anything.
Yes.
So it was really hard for me with Patrick to show him a business that he knew nothing about, you know, and to try to explain why it was important to do pictures a certain way and why it was important with the conditions on Amazon. I remember one time I had gotten really lazy about, because I taught him how to list on Amazon in Inventory Lab, and he was really good, but I had gotten lazy about quality controlling what he was doing, and I think that's where a lot of people that get employees fail. They're not doing a good job of making sure what's happening is what's supposed to be happening.
Right.
And because I've seen a lot of people get suspended because of employees. And I wasn't watching him very closely, and fortunately I caught it before we ever sent anything in. In Inventory Lab, if you don't change the condition notes, it keeps the last condition that you had before.
Oh.
And so he was listing things in the wrong condition because he was forgetting to change it. And so I had to explain to him why it was so important, that was one of the most important things.
Yeah.
Right.
Because you'll get suspended.
Right.
Listing used things as new, you know.
Yeah.
And that was the only thing, and that was my fault. That was, like, my fault for not making sure. You know, I just kind of got lax about it. I'm like, he's fine. He's got it, you know. But it's really been helpful to have him around because there was a question in the chat about do you find that you're more motivated having a helper? Yeah. I am. Actually, I stay on task. And what I would have Patrick do is he would come in and organize the office, clean up all of my chaos from when he wasn't here, because he was only coming 2 days, 3 days a week, you know. So he'd organize the office, and then he would sit down, and I would have bins that said for eBay and for Amazon, and he would enter in the ones that were for eBay into the Easy Auction Tracker inventory page of how much they cost and what they were and all of that stuff, and then he would start taking pictures of them.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. And then he would edit the pictures, and then he would put them back in the bins, and I would start listing them. Then he would take the stuff that was for Amazon, and he would start putting that into Inventory Lab. And then he'd have a shipment finished by the end of the day, and I would be listing on eBay.
That's nice.
Yeah. That's why I missed him so much. Like, it totally changed everything. I couldn't, though. There are certain parts of my business that I can't relinquish to somebody else, which was, you know, my listings, actually doing the listings.
Right. Like, I just don't know if I would trust anybody to be doing my stuff. I mean, I would just rather do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't have somebody doing my listings, and I couldn't have somebody doing my shipping.
Okay, I have to say, Jeff is asking if we color coordinated before the show.
Tonya and Robin came in blue, and I was wearing purple. So I was like, well, let me go change my shirt to my blue shirt. I should have got him a blue shirt, too, and Malcolm could have been color coordinated as well.
Hey.
Blue, now you're going to have that song stuck in your head all day. But does anybody have any questions about, like, anything that has to do with, like, having an assistant or anything just about it? Or
I mean, I think it would be okay to have an assistant if they were just like taking pictures, you know, or like organizing your inventory. But I'm like you, I would want to, with eBay and with Amazon, I would want to be the one actually creating the listings myself.
Yeah, and that's a good part about Inventory Lab, is because it doesn't actually get submitted to eBay until you submit and to Amazon until you actually send over the feeds. So I was able to go through and quality check what was happening before it ever was sent to Amazon. So that helps a lot.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think even if you can't have somebody that helps you with your actual ins and outs of your business, it was totally helpful to have him here when we were doing inventory consolidation. When I was sitting there assigning bins to things, and he would be there, and we'd have the bin, he'd take a bin, and I had the laptop, and he's like, okay, here's this, and I'm like, okay, it's going in bin number this, and he put it in that bin, and then we just went through, and I would search. Also, I ended up with 6 boxes of things that had disappeared into the eBay abyss.
Yeah.
Like, they weren't listed anymore, you know.
Yeah.
And so we sat there, and it took us 2 days to go through everything and find the things that had disappeared and assign things to boxes. But after that was all finished, it saved me so much time, because I could just go, once the item sold, and get it out of its, you know, assigned tote.
Yeah.
What about holding taxes for them? No, I didn't do any of that. I treated him like a independent contractor. So that was his own thing. He basically was 1099. I mean, he was in control of his own hours, and if he wanted to be here, he was here, and if he wasn't here, then he wasn't here.
Yeah. Hey,
And
Jenny's asking if does Patrick know he's YouTube famous?
I have told him that the reseller community has gotten pretty familiar with who he is, and he's probably going to need to introduce himself, because I talk a lot about him because he was invaluable to my business. My sales were way up to the point that me having to pay him was no big deal. And I had actually taught him how to scan media. So I'd go pick him up, and we'd go to the store, and I would just tell him, okay, pull all the new DVDs and all the new CDs and all the new, media. And here's the price point. If you have anything that's over, $2, $3 profit or whatever, just put it in the cart. And so he would just scan it all. And I would go around this store and find things for eBay and then other Amazon things. And he would scan through all the media. And then we'd come back here. He'd enter it all into inventory and start doing the Amazon shipment, start doing things. And, it just worked.
Yeah. That's kind of like husband and wife teams. That's why they're so successful.
I know. I wish I could have that. Like, Robin Emery's never had an interest in doing eBay with you?
He has voiced an interest on occasion, and he has taken photos once.
Well, that's something.
Yeah, that is something. And whenever y'all were talking about having other people do your pictures and that kind of stuff, it reminded me of whenever he did do pictures, which was fabulous, by the way. But he took a picture of, and I can talk about it now because it's sold. He took a picture of a man's shirt on my lady's dress form. And that was the main picture of the listing. And honestly, I just kept it up. I was like, you know what? Whatever. And it actually sold. So I was like, okay with it.
My man boobs would look great in that shirt. My moobs.
So, yeah, I told him, and whenever he was taking the pictures, I sorted like all the clothes that I wanted him to list. It was only like 10 things. It's like, you can list this. I'm gonna go sourcing, and here's the stuff that you need, and this is how I do it. And there happened to be a man's shirt in there, and so he was like, she said put everything on the mannequin, so that's what he did. I was not about to be over his shoulder. You should do it this way, and you should no, not happening.
What about your daughter? Does she have any interest in helping you?
She,
Because she's 10 now, right?
yeah, she's 10. She just likes to go with me when I go shopping. She just likes to be out. And she helps a lot by playing with the baby.
Yeah, that's a huge thing.
Definitely.
So, mommy works while they have a good time. It works out for me.
What about you, Tonya? Does your kids or husband have any interest in anything that you do?
Kids, not so much, but my husband, he is really getting into retail arbitrage, and right now he's really into the homemade entrepreneur. Do you ever watch his channel on YouTube?
No.
So, yeah, he's a really good guy. He puts out a lot of good content, and so he really likes his channel, and
So he's doing RA stuff?
Yeah, he's definitely bought a few things here and there, experimenting, and everything he's bought has been successful. So I think that he really has a good eye for it.
That's good. Because if you can make that roll, there's good money.
I know, right?
Yeah. There's some good money. I made a ton of money when I was doing it. I just didn't like it. So.
Yeah.
And your kids don't, nothing at all, huh?
No, I've tried to get Brandon into it, and I've told him, well, when you want to do it, I already have an eBay account for you, because I have like 3 of them, and I try and build the feedback up on all of them. Well, just because you never know, right? But I told him, if you do, I said, Mommy's got an eBay ID for you, and he can change the name to whatever he wants to.
Right.
But he's 13, and, you know, all he wants to do is be outside playing with his friends. So.
Well, that's good, though. At least he wants to go outside.
Right. Or, you know, on his Xbox or PS4 or whatever, you know.
Yeah, my oldest daughter, I've been trying, she's going to be 18 in June, and I've been trying for years to get her to have an interest because she wanted to get a job. And I was like, you can help me. You know, I will pay you more than minimum wage, you know. Yeah. And she just didn't care. And I'm like, why would you want to, like, she got a job a couple months back making minimum wage, working at the movie theater, and it was costing her more money to get there and back in Uber and Lyft fees than she was making. And I'm like, wow. This is dumb, you know, like, why are you doing that? Yeah. And she just never had an interest in the world in helping me at all. I had a friend of mine that was, like, living here. I tried to get her to help me, you know, because she could have her kids here and, you know, make some money. Nope, no interest. And the only one that hasn't, like my husband, he's mentioned that it would be nice, but he knows it's not his thing. Yeah. And so the only one that has any interest at all is my 8-year-old. Like, she wants to take pictures. I've taught her how to edit pictures. Like, she can crop them, you know, and
fabulous. And hopefully that's something you guys like have like forever with one another, you know.
I hope so. Like, definitely. She really like wants to help, and she gets really disappointed. Like, she was really upset that Patrick was here because he took away her cropping job.
Aw.
And she's like, but she loves doing that kind of stuff, and she keeps trying to get me to let her help with shipping, and I'm just like, no.
Yeah. My 2-year-old helps with shipping. It's the cutest thing. Okay, so when I'm doing my shipping in the morning, I get up and I go into the dining room, which is right next to the room that I have all of my eBay stuff sorted in, and I get all of my stuff that I sell and I put it on the dining room table, and then I package it up and I sit there with my laptop and I print the labels off wirelessly to the office down the hall, and my 2-year-old just thinks it's the funniest thing and the most fun in the world to run down the hall, go to the office, get the label off the printer, and put it back to Mommy.
That is so sweet.
Back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, bringing me labels in the morning. It's the
That's
cutest
hilarious.
thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So my little one's the only one that has an interest in doing anything that has to do, and she's had that interest for years. Like, this is nothing new, because she used to take pictures of my coffee cups, and she was like 5 or 6, you know.
I think that's really cool.
I have pictures of her taking pictures. She was wearing a princess dress with a tiara on, and I remember posting that well over, it's got to be 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. Hopefully she keeps that, because that's invaluable. Like, if you have an entrepreneurial spirit, that's amazing when you get into your teens, because then you don't have to work those cruddy jobs. You know? You're not Taco Belling it, you know, when you
Hey, Taco Bell was my first job.
My first job was working at a deli. So that's why I make good sandwiches.
I bagged groceries. I bagged groceries for tips only on the Air Force Base. It was fabulous.
That's awesome. I know how to roll a burrito.
Yeah. My first job was a deli, and then my next job I worked at Burger King. But that didn't last long. But my very first thing I did was house sitting and pet sitting when I was like 10. Which nobody nowadays would let a 10-year-old have their house key and like go feed their pets. You know, like, oh yeah, the little girl that lives down the street has my house key while I go on vacation for 2 weeks, you know, and make sure my animals survive.
Yeah. I actually cleaning also was one of my first jobs. I used to clean beach houses,
Oh,
like
fun.
vacation beach houses and stuff. There was a lady that lived across the street from me, and I wanted to be a cheerleader, and my mom said if I wanted to be a cheerleader, I had to raise the money.
Oh,
So I was like, okay. And the lady, her name was Faye, and she lived across the street, and she cleaned beach houses, and her daughter was the one teaching me how to be a cheerleader. And she said, if you want to come make some money to pay for those pom poms. So I did that, and I made fresh squeezed lemonade in the hot freaking sun and at an air show on the Air Force Base.
I'm
Yeah,
trying to
when
think.
I was like in 8th grade.
I don't think I ever did any foods.
man.
I know my grandma used to sell frozen ice. Like, she would make really sweet Kool-Aid, and she would put it into sandwich bags and freeze them. And she was the icy lady in the projects, and she used to sell them for $0.25. And she, like, made a grip selling, like,
Yeah.
ices in the summertime in Texas. Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
I had no idea I had any type of entrepreneurial anything until like 3 years ago. And so yeah, I worked all those crappy jobs.
You know, now that I think about it, like, my mom had her own business too. She ran a nightclub. So I
Fun.
guess it's kind of just ran down
Yeah.
through the years. Because, yeah, she had a nightclub when I was like 8. So,
My mom worked for herself as a nanny when I was in high school.
Yeah, that's good
So
money.
yeah, maybe that. And she's cleaned houses before and stuff too. So she's had multiple jobs before that weren't like something that she did for somebody else, just something that she's done for herself. So I guess maybe that's where I get it from. If we're gonna go that route,
you know,
Nicole.
it's kind of
But
like,
down the line.
it's kind of one of those things where it's a by any means necessary kind of mentality. That instead of just being like, okay, I don't know what to do and I don't have a job,
Figure it
you
out.
figure it out and you find a way to get the bills paid and food and this and that. And it's kind of, you know.
Oh, yeah. I'm much more motivated whenever I have some bills that are due right around the corner. I'll be listing like crazy.
Yeah.
You're like, maybe I won't go shopping today. All right. Well, I guess we'll go ahead and wrap it up for the day unless you ladies have something else you'd like to talk about. We have any things coming up? Anything, events or shows or specials or
No, but we can ask everybody to give prayers for Margaret's mom.
Yes.
Yep. And I'm sure she would appreciate that.
Yes.
And all right. Well, I guess we'll go ahead and close out for the day. Everybody, thanks for coming and watching us and joining us and taking your time out to be in the chat and participate. And if you have any questions, make sure to join the Reseller Stew Facebook page. You can always post your questions there. If you have show ideas, let us know. And everybody have a really great week. Talk to y'all later.
Bye.
Bye.